As you may know, October is Mental Health Awareness Month, and so I thought it might be helpful if I bring to you some of our favourite tips that my psychology and mental health professional colleagues often use when we're talking to our clients about how to maintain their mental health. And these are tips that can actually be a little bit left of centre in terms of they're not the obvious things that you might have heard of before. So we've heard of things like, calling a friend, seeking professional support. We've heard of things like, making sure that we're eating well and sleeping well. There are so many practical strategies that you've probably heard of before, but there is lots of jargon, if you like, that some of us in the mental health professions take for granted when we're talking about mental health and mental health maintenance, if you like. So one of the things that I'll talk about over the coming days is some of these strategies that are really, really practical, really, really useful, and they're strategies that we use with our own clients all the time. And I think we as mental health professionals are sometimes a little bit guilty of taking for granted the knowledge that we have and assuming that everyone else knows how to do these things. So even though you might not have heard of some of the things I might share with you over the coming days, these are tried and true and really practical strategies that you can bring into your day, every day, any day, no matter where you are, to help you reset and refresh and manage the moods and the feelings that we all experience, especially those of us in lockdown right now, right? So the first strategy and the first tip I want to share with you today is a technique called grounding. And I swear to you, this is one of my go-to strategies, this for myself, as well as probably the first strategy with most of my therapy clients that I will teach them, because it's so practical, it's so helpful, and it's really, really portable. It's something you can do anywhere, anytime. No one will know that you're doing anything out of the ordinary. So grounding, if you think about it, sometimes our moods have the potential to spiral up into the stratosphere and get right out of control. So grounding is a range of techniques that we can utilize to bring our feet back down to planet Earth, right? To keep us grounded, to keep us feeling like our feet are on the ground and we're standing on steady ground instead of that wobbly, I'm about to lose my shit kind of feeling that we get sometimes. So there are a lot of strategies that come under the umbrella of grounding, and I will touch on some of these in more detail later. The most obvious one that you might have heard of is mindfulness and mindful breathing. So mindfulness and mindful breathing, they act as excellent grounding strategies. But there's a range of sensory activities that you can do. One of my favorite strategies, if you're anywhere near a beach and you're a bit emotional, but even just standing in your backyard will have the same benefit. Bare feet on the ground and feeling what your feet are feeling. Such a really obvious vision of being grounded, right? It is so easy. Take your shoes off, stand outside and feel what your feet are feeling. That is a mindfulness activity using the sense of touch, but it's also taking you out of whatever was going on in your head and bringing you back down to earth, really practically, obviously, very grounded. So over the next bunch of days, I'm going to teach you a bunch of strategies that are linked to grounding. There'll be other things that I'll teach you, like resetting and refreshing your mood. There'll be things like how to normalize and validate your own experiences. I'm looking at my notes because I scribbled a few ideas this morning. I'm going to talk about overwhelm. I'm going to talk about fatigue. I'm going to talk about decision fatigue. I'm going to talk about the difference between therapy and advice. These are the things that in Mental Health Awareness Month sometimes get overlooked, and I want to just make sure that I know plenty of my excellent colleagues are going to teach you a lot of stuff about what depression looks like, what anxiety looks like, anger management, stress management, sleep management, all of that stuff. And it's so important that you watch those videos too. But it occurred to me this morning, these are my favorite things to talk about, and I don't tend to talk about them very often in a public setting. So here's the perfect opportunity to share with you some of ours. These are not my secret tips. As mental health professionals, we draw on these kinds of strategies all day, every day with our clients. So let's bring them out into the open and share them with you. What else is Mental Health Awareness Month for, right? Have a fantastic day. Get your shoes off, get outside, get grounded, take a deep breath, and then move on with the rest of your fabulous day. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye for now.